Chalant versus nonchalant. Which are you and which do you prefer? Today we're going to look at some videos and see what y'all out there in the dating community are saying about it. And we'll talk about it.
Trust me, men love a nonchalant woman. A nonchalant woman, a woman that acts like she don't care, like she could live without me. That make me want you more because I'm trying to get you to be obsessed with me. I'm trying to get you to be obsessed with me because you're not obsessed with me. So when you don't obsess over a man, he will be obsessed with you. He will want you more because he's obsessed with you instead of you being obsessed with him. Because when you're not obsessed with him, he's going to be trying to make you obsessed with him. Right?
So I guess there's a couple ways you can look at that. First, I don't categorically like someone obsessing over me or um, me obsessing over somebody else. I've yet to do it. I don't really know what it would take for me to obsess over somebody, but at the same time, there's the whole thing about, wanting what you can't have, or, someone giving you the cold shoulder. Maybe, it makes you come at them a little more aggressively and ferociously. For me, if a woman doesn't show me attention, or is, I don't care if she's obsessing over me or not, but if she's nonchalant about me, I really don't have any interest. But that's just me.
Wait until y'all find out that them nonchalant men are sensitive as fuck. Like, you thinking he's so cool and laid back and reserved? Baby, that man is sensitive as fuck about his feelings. The reason why he's so laid back is because the minute that he sit up, he gonna crash the fuck out about his feelings. I'm telling you right now, you get a nonchalant man to get out of character, baby, you might as well go ahead and get a restraining order. He finna tell all that shit. Y'all be like, oh my God, he's so sweet and laid back. Like, he don't ever raise his voice. Baby, that man is a self-aware crash out. He already know the power and what the fuck he will do. He already know he'll wreck shit. That's why he nonchalant and keep it calm and keep it cute. Because he already know the power if he flip the fuck out on you. Side note, once he gets to chalanting, don't be surprised if he goes upside your fucking head. Now, hey, I'm not saying this is going to happen all the time, but I tested my own theory and it indeed happened. I'm just saying, word to the fucking wise.
I think she's in the wrong type of relationship. I don't believe she's talking about chalant and nonchalant at all. I think she's getting at a mixed up with abusive, either verbally or physically. I believe that a nonchalant man or a woman, in the definition of the word, is someone who is passive about their feelings and whatnot, and just because a person is nonchalant does not mean, they're Bruce Banner, they're holding stuff in, talking about you. You don't want to see me angry. Like, I don't think that's the case at all. But again, maybe there is something to say about a nonchalant person that you need to watch out for. If someone is just really passive, maybe they're passive aggressive, and there could be another side to that for sure. But let's see what else y'all got to say.
These are 3 ways to master being nonchalant. Let's get into it. 1, do not get attached to anything in life. It could be a job, a girl, or money. The moment you get attached to anything in life and it walks away from you or disappears or it's not there, you're going to be hurt without it because you built an attachment. Why you think when the girl left your ass, you was hurting? Why you think when you went broke, you was sad? You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell you guys, right? When you're dealing with girls, don't think too far about the future. Take things day by day. Don't chill with her every day. Don't yeah every time you see her. The more you do this, you're building an attachment. It's going to be harder for you to walk away or separate yourself when it's time to do so. And always remember, a female's emotions is up and down. She could like you yesterday, wake up today while you're sleeping and look at you and be like, I don't even like this dude no more and be gone. 2, if you're hitting it, right, your end goal is met. So why do you want a relationship? Why buy the whole cow when the milk is free? The whole cow comes with headaches. Nurturing, checking in, insecurities. Come on, bro. I don't want to deal with none of that. You know what I'm saying? Us men, we're sexual beings, right? So when we see a girl, our first thought is, I hit it, right? Because it's sexual attraction, right? If you're already hitting it, your end goal is met. So why do you need more than that? 3, never give a female the reaction she's looking for, right? About 2 months ago, I stopped talking to a girl. I cut her off, right? And she was like, oh, you just wanted sex. I blocked her. Before that, right, she was sending paragraphs. I was ignoring them, right? So she was like, let me see if I can trigger him. But it didn't work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say a girl want to argue. Sit there with a straight face. Walk out the house. Ignore her. Or in an argument, she might bring up one of your insecurities or something bad that happened to you in the past. Be like, you right. She might be like, your pee-pee is small. Be like, you right. I still hit though, right? You know what I'm saying? Just flip it on them, bro. Guys, always remember this, right? Females like turmoil and drama. It makes their panties wet, right? But the moment you react in a negative way when she's fishing or baiting you, right? She holds full power over you and controls you in that moment. But the moment you do this, right, you're giving her the reaction she wants. You know what I'm saying? And she's losing attraction for you because only females fight. Men are stoic like a rock. Follow me for more advice. You might never see me again.
I think he has a little mix of nonchalant and pettiness and, like afraid to be attached. Um, the nonchalant part of his whole, I'm going to call it a tirade because I feel like that brother has been through some things and he was maybe a little hurt when he was making that video, but at the same time, I just don't believe in ignoring people or treating people less than to get a reaction out of them. I mean, if you're being nonchalant with someone, you're just being really passive about your feelings and your emotions and, not really giving too much to what they're saying. And then there's that line to where you just give somebody the cold shoulder. Like, I don't feel that's being nonchalant. I think that's actually kind of rude. If you don't want to talk to somebody, then let them know. Making someone run after you and chase you down and stuff like that is not really a healthy foundation to build a relationship off of. So think about that when you're trying to be nonchalant. You might just make that person turn away.
Y'all really turn being unbothered into an entire personality. Like, at first, being nonchalant really just meant, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mind my own business. That's cool. But what y'all went and did was y'all turned nonchalant into the new way of dating. Now, y'all treating each other as if y'all don't even exist. And this has become the new norm of dating. And when you do too much, hey man, well, what's understood don't even gotta be explained. You can comment that down below because I know I'm not bugging.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. I don't think it should be a dating norm or even a dating sector. There shouldn't be a whole nonchalant versus chalant. I would say there shouldn't be a nonchalant versus chalant. I personally believe, and I'm not a doctor or nothing like that, but I personally believe that if someone is nonchalant or chalant, it's more of their character. Or maybe it could even be a learned behavior, but I don't feel that it should be a dating norm to be like, oh, this person's nonchalant or this person's chalant or whatever. Like, I don't think those phrases should be coming out really all that often when it comes to dating because it will catch fire and it will turn into something very divisive. But, let's keep going.
This might piss some people off, but ladies, if you're being nonchalant in the dating scene right now, acting like another one's coming, it does not matter, playing hard to get, absolutely keep doing that. You guys need to do that, please. And before all the fellas in the comments be like, oh, you're stupid, like, why you telling all the women to do that? Like, it's hard for us to... Man, fuck all that noise, all right? I do not care. Ladies, the reason why playing hard to get and playing nonchalant is going to work in your advantage is because the more selective you get, the better quality of a man you're going to get. And I'm just going to be honest from personal experience, when a woman becomes too forward, especially off like the initial meeting or, they become a little too aggressive, for lack of a better term, it's kind of a red flag. It's kind of scary. And it's not because of like, fragility of male ego. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more of like, why are you being so forward? Why are you making this way too easy? What the hell is going on? Ladies, know your value. You understand it. Men, get to work. Show the effort. Put the effort in. Y'all heard it here first. Run that back.
First off, let me just say that I totally 100% disagree with that. And this is what the previous clip was saying about it being a dating norm. And number two, I don't feel like women being nonchalant is the way to go because he may not know. And maybe a lot of women don't know, but there are more women on this planet than men. Therefore, there are more choices for men. So if a woman's being nonchalant and making a man work his ass off for her, at some point that man is going to get tired and look at the other choices that he has. Being nonchalant can backfire. Oh, it totally can. You're telling, you're purposely showing someone or telling someone that, you don't really care for their advances towards you or you don't care for their compliments or Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Like, only a hurt person would put up with that. And that's why I said where a lot of these reactions I feel about the nonchalant versus chalant, it's like learned behaviors from people in bad relationships. I don't believe there is a good nonchalant relationship out there. Like, there's just no way two people are both nonchalant about each other and they're thriving. But what do I know? Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that.
I feel like we're the only generation that when you're dating and you show interest in a person, that makes you weird. So like, riddle me this. You go on a date with somebody, y'all are cool or whatever, like y'all hang out, like it's a vibe or whatever, and then you message them the next day, and then all of a sudden they get super strange because you showed interest. It's gotta be 7 to 10 fucking business days before we can speak again. I'm a weirdo for trying to reach out to you in the same 24 hours to show interest in you.
We've denormalized showing affection. So what should be considered as basic dating practices, we now view as clingy. Go listen to that again. It probably went over your head. And the crazy thing is, I'm saying this to y'all, but I be doing the exact same shit. If I go out with a girl and I have a good time, and then the next day she's blowing my phone up, I'm gonna be like, yeah, she definitely likes me. Calm down. Calm down. The problem with our generation is nobody wants to fall first. We're so focused on playing it cool, having an image that we're not doing too much, that when somebody is actually putting in effort to pursue you, it's kind of viewed as weird. Back in the day, before all this technology, you had to get a girl's number, write it down, call the house phone, hope she picked up. If not, you're talking to a brother, a sister, a parent, until they give her the phone. And then you finally have a conversation. Look at all that effort a man had to go through to have a conversation with a potential partner. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get a good morning Snapchat from your favorite situationship. We are a weird generation, and it's only gonna get weirder.
I believe that he is absolutely spot on. I couldn't have said it any better. Or both of them were absolutely spot on. It's this generation, and I just feel like there's a lot of social norms that are being broken and being created. And it kind of sucks because if that's the norm right now, in another 20 years, I mean, I can't even imagine how people are going to treat each other. But yeah, and I agree with the young lady in the beginning where she said, it's taboo to let someone know that you're feeling them and that you're attracted to them, and it's considered weird, and people think you're clingy if you show them affection. Like I don't know how that could be a thing. Back in my day, yeah, you had to run up on a girl, you had to get that number, you had to spit game, you had to compliment. When you got on the phone, you had to put in the work, and build and build and build. And women were looking for that. Women wanted men to show and tell them how much. They wanted chalant to men. But nowadays, it's just like there's so many options and the responses is so quick. I can see why a lot of women and people are nonchalant, because you got so much coming at you that at some point you got to build up a force field for it. But I don't think that that's the key to finding who you want. I'm sorry for this generation, man. Good luck.
I don't like nonchalant men.
I think I
like my men
a
obsessed.
form of toxic masculinity, not the toxic where it's negative, but like I just feel like guys these days do so much feminine stuff. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I would never try and purposely make a woman jealous because I am the hunter. I am the chaser. Why would I want you to be jealous, crying over me?
The worst thing I've ever heard, oh my God. Oh my God. When guys are like, I don't approach women, women approach me.
Oh yeah, dude. That's such a turn on.
I get turned off by women approaching me.
I don't even know what to say about that. That's kind of crazy. Again, it kind of goes to me, this whole thing is like the good guy finishes last type of thing. If you show too much, you're the bad guy. And if you're the asshole, it's kind of like that's what they want. I think a lot of women these days are attracted to the nonchalant guy. They say they're not, but you can always see all these examples of girls with the asshole. And I guarantee you, assholes are nonchalant. The good guys are chalant. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know.
That you put in less effort and less energy. 1, that you don't care at all. 2, you must not care because you must have a lot of other options. You must be in abundance. Number 3, your life must be pretty good if you don't really care about someone coming in or out of it. That's what it says. And that's what women want. Women want to see a guy that has such a good life is so confident, sure of himself, they would just want to be a part of it. They don't want a guy that puts the woman in the center of everything. They don't want that at all. And so this demonstrates to women, I'm good with or without you. I'm the prize. I'm good with or without you. So if you want to put in shitty behavior, I'll put in less than shitty. I'll put in negative behavior. And you're going to take it or leave it. And that aura and energy is what women chase.
Again, another extreme case of nonchalantness. And I think that there's a healthy balance of being nonchalant and being chalant. To categorize, a gender and say that this is what women want, vice versa, this is what men want, I think is a bad idea. There are a lot of a certain demographic of women who do want the nonchalant guy who's cocky and don't just really show any emotion towards them. And I mean, you see it all the time, especially on these dating shows. I mean, you see these women, going back and running to these nonchalant guys who really have themselves as the alpha, and there's no problem with being an alpha. There's no problem with a man saying I'm the prize. For sure, by all means, I encourage that, but don't use that as a tool to say that I'm not going to show any interest in you. I'm not going to care because I'm the prize. Man or woman, you do that, you might as well just say goodbye. Or that person that accepts you after you do that, get ready for the ride because it's not going to end well.
Worst type of man in the world to have is a nonchalant man. So when a man care about you, there's nothing nonchalant about his feelings towards you. There's so many chicks out there right now in a nonchalant ass relationship, she don't know where she stand in it. The man don't never express to her how you feel about her. He don't never try to set no boundaries or try to put her on some game or nothing like that. It's just, hey, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go. She might as well be by herself if that's the case. Because if I love my woman, this is the woman I love more than anything in this world. I'd be damned if she out here in the world and I don't know what the hell she doing, or I don't know where she going, or who gonna be there, or what the environment is gonna be like. And how can I protect you if I'm ignorant to all that stuff? You are my woman, the love of my life. I need to know every aspect of what's going on around you. So in my head, I can map out every possible scenario that can go left and come up with a solution for it. But how could I come up with solutions if I don't know all of the variables that's going on within the situation?
And again, another perspective that I totally agree with. He's going to reassure that woman. He's going to upbuild that woman because that's the woman that he loves. Like this brother said, why would you want less for someone that you love and want to spend your life with? Why would you be dismissive? Why would you be nonchalant about that one person in particular? Again, I just don't see it as a means to a good ending. I could see the chalant man progressing a lot more than the nonchalant man. But it's a crazy world, man. The nonchalantness is it's a necessary evil in a way, but at the same time, it's not good for the long haul.
Are these flowers for me? They're just flowers. This is so grand. Appreciate you. I can't believe we've been together for a month. Type shit. I think I'm starting to fall in love with you. That's cool, but I only love my mama. Wait, so you don't think you'll ever love me? I F with you. But you said you'll only love your mama. It is what it is. So when you get married, who comes first? Your mom, your wife, or your daughter? My mom first, my daughter, and my wife last. Oh, I see. Maybe we're not compatible then. It's all good. So you're not gonna try to convince me that we're compatible? It's not up to me. You don't care if we break up? If that's what you want. I'm asking you. Okay, bet. What? This is it? If that's God's plan. Is there another girl? Is that why? Nah, these hus ain't loyal. My only plan right now is to make some serious bank.
I think that was absolutely perfect. That's a prime example of a nonchalant man. And again, what I said, the other perfect example of the women who like that, and again, this was an act, but at the same time, I feel she gave a perfect perspective of both the male and female side of it. Those women, they'll stay around and they'll try to have that man convince them, even though they know he's an asshole and he's not emotionally there. For some reason, there's that tick in them that wants that. And I know guys like that, and that doesn't mean they're bad guys. It's just a lot of guys aren't emotionally attached. Maybe they weren't taught to express their feelings or emotions, or maybe they were hurt and don't want to get hurt again, which are all not good things, but it does happen in the real world. And, I just hope that I know that I'll never be in a situation like that, because I'm a chalant guy myself, but I would never I just think that if I'm in a relationship with someone, that's the last thing I want to be, is nonchalant.
Truly based on my own observation and experience in life, when you are dating men, I don't think you really ever get what you want when you are with a man who's nonchalant about you in the beginning. Okay? Unfortunately, I just don't think that that is the case. The most successful relationships that I have been in, and also that I have watched my friends be in, the man was very interested and excited about them from the beginning. I think it's very hard to build that as you go with a man. And I think sometimes what women can do is they can falsely believe that this nonchalant man that's not very intentional, that doesn't really care to spend time with them, that's not showing any type of urgency to be around them or be with them or plan dates, is going to all of a sudden change his mind and become that for her. And I just don't think that happens a lot of times with men. I think men know right off the bat whether or not they like you and want to pursue you and see you in a serious way and maybe want to date you. And if they don't, they will treat you very casually. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you will allow them to have access to you in a very casual way. And I think a lot of times women allow it thinking that it's going to change, and then it never does. And this is the perfect dynamic for a situationship. If that's what you want, then that's okay. But if you want to be in a relationship and you want somebody to take you seriously, I believe that a man has to show a lot of intention and effort in the beginning. And ultimately, as much as it's annoying, I feel like the guy has to like you more in order for it to make sense and for it to progress the way that you want to.
Yeah, and she's spitting straight facts. I don't believe that being chalant and nonchalant is a switch that you can turn off on and off. If that guy is being chalant with you from the get, then you can guarantee that's how he's going to be. If that guy who's chalant turns nonchalant, or woman goes from chalant to nonchalant, then there's probably a problem. If they're going from, reinforcing you to really not caring and being short, there's probably something going on in the relationship. And vice versa, if a person is nonchalant, I don't really see what could make that person turn chalant, unless something happens. Maybe the person almost lost you and they realize that they have to do something, something different, or maybe they came across someone giving you compliments or talking to you in a specific way and see how you react to that, and maybe they will in turn. It can happen, but most of the time, if you're nonchalant and you're being like that, you probably don't care regardless. So in one instance, if it starts good and it turns bad, there's a problem. In the other instance, if it starts nonchalant, that's the ride you chose. I hope you buckled up.
If you're still dating men in 2026, please, please go in the direction of the chalant men. As a woman who does not like men, as a woman who does not care to be in the company of men, as a woman who just stays out of men's way, as a woman who will cuss a man out, as a woman who will fight a man if he get on my nerve. Yeah, I fought many men. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you must date these men, find you a chalant man. The man who cares, who calls, who wants to spend time with you, who listens, who's thoughtful, who's patient, who's generous. Yes, that is the man that you should be entertaining. Anything else is bullshit. The men that lacks emotional intelligence, the man that's selfish, the man that don't care, the man that don't keep his promises, the man that don't call when he say he's supposed to, don't show up, is not thoughtful, don't think of you, don't surprise you, don't give you nothing, don't take you nowhere. Leave that man alone. Please go in the direction of the chalant men.
I mean, that's good advice from women to other women. I mean, I think she explained it and laid it out plain and simple. Like you want a man who's not emotionally there, who doesn't compliment, who doesn't take you out, who doesn't show you the attention. More than likely, those people who seek that are probably the same way. And for some odd reason, that's what they're attracted to. Being a chalant man myself, I can say that there is a difference between the type of man who will reinforce you, and upbuild you and compliment you and want to go places with you and want to be with you and call you and text you. Like if that's the girl I'm feeling and I'm letting her know that, of course, because I want to secure that girl. But I've been with the women who accept that, and I've also been with the women who are just like, nah, he's too much. Like they don't really want to they don't really want to hear all that. They're used to a specific type of reaction from men, and they feel like that's what turns them on, and to each their own, you know what I'm saying? But being a chalant man is not necessarily, you won't get the best response all the time. It's an acquired taste, to say the least.
Alright boys, listen up. Y'all have been doing it all wrong. Being nonchalant is not the move anymore, it's patch. Being chalant.
That's the move.
Okay? Here's what you gotta do. You gotta throw in some jokes, you gotta throw in some humor, you gotta develop a slightly unique personality where they think that,
you're different from other guys.
but then you can also, jump at the opportunity where
You can kind of emotionally manipulate them, okay?
because they think that you're different. They think that you're a different guy. But in reality,
You're just more performative because you're being chalant.
so, that's what you gotta do. Get, a few unique hobbies. I don't know, watch
National Geographic, say you're into animals or whatever.
get a new unique pet.
Get a turtle. I don't care. Get a reptile. They love that.
Dogs and cats are patch, that's why. Just figure out new methods to make them think
That you're different and that you're unique as a man.
I'm not trying to be manipulative, I'm just trying to put this out in the streets because
Being nonchalant is not the move anymore, okay?
women stopped being into that months ago, if not a year or two ago. They think that you're lame, they think that you have no personality, and they struggle keeping interest because they're like, oh, this guy was,
I was chasing this guy at first, but now I'm losing interest. So,
boys, if you want to keep their interest and you really want to, max out the ability to, get women's interest and get them interested and fall in love with who they think you are,
chalant is the way.
that's it, PSA. Be a manipulator, use this information how you want to be. Go max, boys, go crazy, that's it.
Now, I do feel like this is a generational thing. Just listening to him describe to other men how to get women, I feel like there's a real disconnect between an attraction, which is probably why a lot of men fail. You're going after a woman and not the type of woman that you're attracted to. I feel that if you put yourself in position and communicate right, that you don't have to be chalant or nonchalant to win that woman over. That woman's going to like you for who you are. And again, being chalant and nonchalant shouldn't have to be a choice either. You shouldn't have to manipulate someone or try to be someone that you're not. Because if you're a nonchalant guy, you can't try to be chalant. If that's not you, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, maybe that's just your personality. Personalities can change, but don't manipulate somebody on the first couple dates, and make them think something, because your true side is going to come out and it's not going to end well.
I think we need to bring back chalant dating. That's
Dating with intention?
Yes.
Okay, so there used to be a thing back in the day where you would try to act all like, cool, I'm not interested. And I think women still want that, but men don't want that. But then also, I guess it goes back to that whole thing where if you were interested in them, you would accept that behavior.
Yeah.
Because men could look at you as being a clinger, as women do for men who are doing things that they're not interested in.
Yeah.
But if the right person does it, you're okay with it.
Yep.
So you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
And again, another perfect example of, again, being one or the other. The right person is going to accept who you are. The right woman is going to accept the nonchalant guy. and she's going to accept the chalant guy and vice versa, men for women. I think that that's part of the dating process. That's part of getting to know someone is you're going to have hits and you're going to have misses. Your personality is not going to always match up with what the other gender is looking for. So that's a good reason to not fake it and not try to be someone who you're not, because there's somebody out there for you. You just might have to go on a few more extra dates to find that person or find a different avenue to find that person. But like she said, you say the right things to the right person, and there you go. Whether it's a nonchalant man saying the right thing to a woman who likes nonchalant, or vice versa. Everybody's not meant for each other. We're all different. We all have different personalities, different DNA makeup, and we're all attracted and drawn to different things. So just keep that in mind.
Date a chalant man. Ho to ho, this is my best dating advice for you. Date a chalant man. Date chalant men. Chalant men are the best. They are fun. They are enthusiastic. They're going to hype you up. They're going to make you feel good. And once you date a chalant man, you will never go back to the nonchalant losers. And as someone who has thoroughly enjoyed their late in life hoe era, and now I will only date chalant men, I feel very qualified to give you this advice. But if you don't want to take it, that's your business. But if you want to have a good time in dating, date chalant men.
Well, I'm glad she's a self-professed hoe. But it sounds like she's using, again, that as manipulation. She's looking to have a good time, and she knows that nonchalant men will give her the best treatment. She's using it as a tool. And at the end of the day, somebody's feelings are going to get hurt because she's not using that for the benefit of her future relationships. She's using that for the benefit of her right now. She knows she wants to get flowered and wants to get complimented and wants to, have a good time and all that. And she knows the exact type of men to go after, which again, for her own selfish reasons is not a bad thing. But at the same time, you're manipulating and you're being someone who you not truly are to get what you want right now in this moment. And again, keep faking the front. It's going to end bad for you. It's not going to be good. But maybe, again, that's what people are looking for, to have fun right now and be manipulative.
My go-to saying is like, chalant, please.
Chalant, okay. If you don't, someone else might.
Right.
Does that put a pep in your step, or like are you just kind of like whatever happens, happens?
No, it absolutely like puts a pep in my step, because
Yeah.
you asked me what my type was, and I said it was Angel. It's just the speed that I'm moving might not be fast enough, and if somebody else steps in, I mean, I'd be hurt. Like, well, damn.
Then what you gonna do about it?
We making it happen. We
I
gonna make it
haven't heard
happen.
a date, a plan, an evite.
Yeah, and I guess that's the ultimate thing, is that for the nonchalant types, it could be seen as taking it slow and not caring and not showing enough. And you get that nonchalant guy or the nonchalant girl to come in and get in that ear, you done for. And it could not be your fault. It could be just you're just used to taking things slow. Maybe you're a little bit hesitant. You don't want to get taken advantage of, or maybe you're feeling the situation out, and you're just not, representing yourself the way that that man or woman is looking for. And it could cause you to be the snail in the race. And again, with social media and the way we're so used to instant reaction, people's chemistry is changing as well. We want instant reaction now in 2026. A lot of men and women don't have time for the slow roll. Some of them. Some people do like that slow roll. I guess it's up to you to find the person that suits you the best. And with that, again, the whole dating situation, there are no rules. There's no one size fits all. There's no do this or do that. It's all individualism. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and none of us are identical. We're all completely different in so many ways. So using someone else's game plan to get the opposite sex won't necessarily work every time. You got to be you. You got to be unique. You got to be yourself. Be chalant or be nonchalant. Let that person who you're pursuing decide if that's what they want. don't look at it as being a bad thing. Don't look at it as being a good thing. As long as you're being 100% genuine, you're going to get the best outcome for your choice, whether it is a good outcome or a bad. At least you made that choice being 100% real with yourself and the other person. Manipulation never is a good thing, and it never works out in the end. I'd like to thank y'all for all of your views, your comments, your likes. Again, I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please, if you are enjoying this content, like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see y'all next time.